really great that we have so many tools, to help us to, to sleep better and think, and to eat better. And Dr. Huber, I want to turn to you for a minute because, you're, of course, a world expert in nutrition. I know you have a lot to say on this topic. And I want to start by asking you about protein. Because protein's a big, hot topic in nutrition. Everybody's very concerned about getting enough protein. And I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about how our protein needs change as we get older, and how can older people make sure that they're getting enough protein?
Well, thank you for that question. I've always said protein is the #1 nutrient you need to worry about. When we've built diets together, we always start with the protein. And we match the protein in the diet to the protein in the body. And people give general guidelines, and those general guidelines usually increase the amount of protein needed per day on a rough basis based on body weight. But the same principles that apply to younger people apply as you age, and most people are not getting enough protein. And the reason for that is that as they cut their calories trying to control weight, they cut everything. And when you cut the protein needs to be maintained. Some of the oldest studies that were done in restricting calories and aging in the past would cut the calories but keep the protein constant. And the reason for that was if they didn't keep the protein constant, these little mice and rats would have short tails. So they figured out, we better give them the same. And so as a percentage of the total calories, it was higher. So it was about 30%, which is usually what we recommend, 25 to 30% of calories. So you have to set a target. You have to eat at the right times during the day. And protein is so important, but it doesn't work on its own. You have to combine it with exercise. So we always say exercise, and within 30 minutes to an hour after the end of your exercise session, take 20 to 30 grams of protein. And then take 20 to 30 grams in each meal. And if you have a snack, as we've talked about, that'll be 10 to 15 grams of protein. And you have to look at labels, and you have to make up your protein target for the day and then stick with it and do it every day.
It's interesting because I think that we used to think that as people got older, they needed less protein. They were eating less, maybe they were moving around less. And so these comments are really important, I think, for older people to understand that their protein needs actually may even increase.